The Mourne Mountains are found on the southeast coast of Northern Ireland. They are recognised for their natural beauty and heathland habitats. They are a focus for visitors for their beauty, wildlife and access to nature. Northern Ireland Water is the largest landowner within the area. The Silent Valley Reservoir provides drinking water to County Down and most of Belfast. The landscape and visitor management of the Mournes is led by the Mournes Heritage Trust. This is a charitable organisation funded by the government and the local council. The Trust works with the local community, landowners, farmers and volunteers in the area to find solutions for problems experienced in the area.
So we're working with them to look at managing for whether it's increased users being up here, drier spells, heavier downpours, impacts on your peat soils, and also the need to manage grazing in a much more focused way for the outcomes. The stakeholders have been saying, in particular in Northern Ireland Water where we are now, to maybe introduce a new approach to managing the catchment, their land, but also as a demonstration for broader catchment management. This draws on best practice, but it's a very holistic approach, trying to build resilience, looking at how climate change is going to be more problematic going forward. They don't know what the severity of the changes will be and the impacts on the ground.
The number of people visiting the Mournes has been increasing, especially during COVID times, putting the trails under severe pressure. This has led to the erosion of paths and the creation of rogue trails, destroying heathland habitats. The increase in sediment entering the watercourses has a substantial cost for the local landowners, in particular NI Water, who will face increased treatment costs. The Trust is improving the paths to ensure people can visit the Mournes and minimise the damage through working with nature.
We're working on this trail here today, doing a bit of path work. Behind here you'll see the guys are starting to actually they're digging a back drain, back ditch, to take the water from the hillside and guide it down through a cross drain. That will just carry the water that's running across the path into the drain and take it away safely so it won't erode the path. All these materials exist here, they're all just glacial deposits, so we can generally find materials that we need to use for the path at hand. With the erosion of the hillside, you get sediment washed down, which goes into the dams, and that causes a problem then for water supply, for Northern Ireland Water having to clean the water supply to remove the sediments, and also builds up in the dam, so it requires more maintenance work and flushing that out.
Moving up the mountain, there are areas of degraded peat. This damage is from overgrazing, heavy footfall and wildfires.
My name's Niall Kelly. I'm a Senior Countryside Officer with Mournes Heritage Trust, and this is a heathland restoration project we've been carrying out over the last few years. So we've been trying to improve the hydrology on the site to encourage more desirable species that will reactivate it as a bog. The work we're carrying out here has benefits which are twofold really, in terms of mitigating fire risk and returning it to being an active bog where it can sequester carbon.
The Trust is working to restore these heathlands using nature-based solutions to deliver benefits to society by storing carbon, improving water quality and reducing the risk of wildfires. A healthy bog can sequester 2 times as much carbon as a forest of the same size.
We've various methods and techniques to try and improve the quality of the ground. We've been installing coir rolls to try and reduce the erosive effect of the water and maintain the sediment on site instead of it ending up in the reservoir. We've also had volunteer groups who've come in and helped us building stone dams, which have been very effective as well.
Retaining the sediment within the heathland will improve the quality of water in Silent Valley Reservoir and reduce the cost of treating the water to make it suitable for drinking. By carrying out this work, the Trust hopes to see the return of certain plant species.
One of the key species to see on this site is sphagnum moss, as it's really the key piece of vegetation that will create peat. It's also really good because it can hold 27 times its own volume of water, so it stops the site drying out, so it'll hold water all through the year. As part of the wider Heathland project, there has been a lot of wildfire mitigation work. Some of that has been prescription burns, but another thing has been conservation grazing to try and reduce the fuel load. If they graze the vegetation down, it's not there come the time of a wildfire.
Looking to the future, the Trust plan to continue these innovative approaches to landscape management.
And the idea is that we're working with organisations like AFBI and others, and DERA, to find out pilot ways of maybe a better way of doing that, using public funds for, in effect, producing public goods, in particular landscape management outputs.